Hello there, I'm Abhishek and welcome to the Mind Decoder. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you the most basic form of tense, which is the present indefinite tense or the simple present tense. While learning this tense, you will know how to use this tense effectively while speaking and also in writing down sentences. It goes without saying that English speakers always need to know when an action or an event takes place. I'm sure you will understand the importance of tense in English language. So without further ado, let's jump right in. A verb may refer to two aspects of an action. One is the time of an action, whereas the other one is a state of an action. The time of an action usually denotes the time of occurrence of an action. A verb that refers to the present time is said to be in the present tense. A verb that refers to the past time is said to be in the past tense, whereas a verb that refers to the future time is said to be in the future tense. On the other hand, the state of an action expresses the various functions of a tense. These functions include the habitual function, the progressive function, the preceding function, and the time expression. Well, having said that, we will look at something quite essential. This is the time frame. Well, in order to get the complete structure of a tense, we should know the basic time frames. These are the point of time, the period of time, and the expression of time. The point of time refers to that time which denotes a specific or proper time. For example, in 2017, on Monday, etc. The period of time refers to that time which denotes a specific duration of time. For example, from 1940 to 1950, from Monday to Saturday, etc. And last but not the least, the expression of time. The expression of time denotes the combination of both point and period of time. For example, summer 1997, winter 2017, etc. In this lesson, I am going to focus on the simple present tense and the habitual function of a tense. While learning, please remember the conditions required to use a particular tense, because these conditions will help you further to use the appropriate tense, and also it will make the meaning transparent and clearer. In simple present tense, when we need to express situations or events that exist always, habitually, usually, then we use the simple present tense. Remember that they exist now, have existed in the past, and probably will exist in the future. This matter is clearly depicted by the diagram on the board. The first condition implies that this tense is generally used to denote custom, habit, practice, repeated action, permanent activity, general truth, etc. Now, the idea of habitual actions, permanent activity, practice is often expressed by using the adverbs of frequency in sentences. Now, let me remind you, what are adverbs of frequency? Adverbs of frequency tell us how often or how frequently an action or things happen. Now I have drawn an inverted triangle on the board, and in this triangle different adverbs of frequency are labeled and placed at different labels according to their frequency. Now here we can see that in this triangle the first position or the highest placement has been acquired by always, which is labeled 100%. Now this means that when an action is mostly performed, then only we use always. At the bottom of this triangle we have never, which is labeled 0%. This means that when an action is not performed at all, then we use never. I need you to analyze these sentences. In the first one, we have Tom usually believes everybody. This sentence shows that the subject of the sentence, which is Tom. He is a doer of the action. And what is the action? Tom usually believes everybody. That means Tom has a habit of believing everyone. That's why, as this sentence says about a habit, we use the present tense form of the verb, which is believes. And look at this one, usually. Usually is that adverb of frequency which tells us how frequently the habit has been performed by Tom. That's why Tom usually believes everybody. In this sentence, we use the present tense form of the verb. In the next sentence, Rahul often gets late for lunch. Here also we can see that Rahul, who is a subject of the sentence or the doer of the action, he has a habit of getting up late for lunch. So here the verb which we use, gets, we use this verb in the present tense form. Also look at this adverb of frequency, often. In the next sentence, Jack always comes in time. Jack, the subject, always comes in time. Jack is very punctual. That's why he reaches everywhere in time. That's why comes is the verb which we use in the simple present tense, and Jack is a subject of the sentence, and always is the adverb of frequency. In the last sentence, Shaurya seldom gets up late. Shaurya, the subject of the sentence, seldom. Well, seldom is the adverb of frequency. Seldom means very rarely. And the verb which we use is gets in simple present tense. So these are the sentences where we use a simple present tense, because all these sentences shows the habit or a permanent activity of the subjects. The second condition implies that simple present tense is used to make a sentence in present, showing the permanent nature and activity of the subject. Like in this example, I know him well. Here in this sentence, the subject is I, and what I is doing, or what the subject is doing. It's the permanent nature of the subject to know someone well. That's why we use the verb in the present tense form, which is know. Whenever we need to show or express the permanent activity of the subject, then also we use the simple present tense. Like in this example, we have Emma teaches in St. Xavier's College. In this sentence, the subject is Emma, and Emma is a teacher by profession who presently teaches in St. Xavier's College. This sentence shows the permanent activity of the subject, which is Emma. That's why we use the verb in the present tense form, which is teaches. The simple present tense says that something was true in the past, is true in the present, and will be true in the future. It expresses general statements of facts, timeless truth, and eternal principles. Like for example, I have water consists of hydrogen and oxygen. Certainly this statement is true. We all know that water is a compound that consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. There is no denying. I have similar sentences. The sun rises in the east and rivers freeze at high altitude. In all these sentences, we use the verb that is in simple present tense form. In the first sentence, it was consists. In the second one, it was rises, and in the third one, it is freeze. Now, as these sentences shows the general statements, timeless truth, or eternal principles, that's why the tense which we use here is a simple present tense. English grammar expresses the historical present using the simple present tense to refer to an incident that took place in the past. Verbs that are used in historical present always indicates to the incident that happened in the past. Like for example, we have now Netaji enters and addresses the Indian soldiers. Here, certainly this statement has been taken or depicts an incident which took place in the past, but the verbs which we use here are in simple present tense. Why? Because this sentence is depicted and also portrays an incident offering a sense of urgency, so that we use these tenses which are in simple present form. The simple present tense is used to make statements about future events, but these events are based on present facts. These facts are generally fixed as a schedule or a timetable. Like for example, look at these two sentences. He leaves his job for next week. The shop opens at 7:30 tonight. In these sentences, we come across a scheduled time, which is generally a future time but is based on the present fact. That's why here in these two sentences, the verbs which we use are in simple present form. Alright, I hope you will practice these sentences and always remember the conditions that are required to use the simple present tense, because I don't want you to develop any confusions regarding this lesson. If you have any queries, then please write down in the comment section below. I will be there to help you. Always remember that my aim is to make language learning easier and clearer so that you can learn, think and speak. Give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button because it motivates me to make such videos, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. If you want to help others who are struggling with the English language learning, please share my videos with them. I will see you again with another new lesson. Thank you, stay safe, take care, bye bye.